WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all. For over 4 decades, it's been the ultimate battleground where legends are born, careers are defined, and unforgettable moments are etched into the hearts of millions. But how much do you really know about the spectacle behind the squared circle? From shocking backstage secrets to mind-blowing records, celebrity cameos, and the wildest moments you forgot even happened. I'm Senior Siete for 7 Wrestling. Let's take a look at fascinating WrestleMania facts that every fan should know. Now, before we get into this, we appreciate your support, so if you enjoy this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and stink face that notification bell. Gross. Also, we've got merch. Show the world that you're a part of the brotherhood, even if you're a sister, with some of our snazzy apparel, stickers, and other business. Alright, well, we usually do 7 entries per video, hence the name of the whole damn channel, but since this is a big show and these entries will probably be pretty short, let's hit a multiplier. Okay. Oh, 11. How'd that get in there? Oh, fudge. Oh, well, screw it. 77 facts it is. You know what? I'm going to throw in a made-up one just for funsies. Let me know in the comments section if you could find the fake one. Number 1. Let's start off with my favorite WrestleMania fact of all. WrestleMania is kind of a dumb name. I think we're just kind of used to it at this point, but originally, Vince McMahon wanted to call the show the Colossal Tussle. I'm gonna tussle you, brother. There are many stories about where the WrestleMania name actually came from, but it's generally credited to Hall of Fame ring announcer Howard Finkel, who got the inspiration from Beatlemania. Number 2. Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole is generally considered one of the worst matches in WWE history, but before it even happened, CM Punk knocked Michael Cole's tooth out during a prank gone wrong. On the Logan Paul Impulsive podcast, Cole would say, CM Punk during the day as I was going over the match with Jerry, he just decided to run across the ring and give me a knee lift. Dummy me didn't move out of the way and he knocked my tooth out. During the match, Jerry hit me with a drop kick and knocked my other tooth out. Well, that's interesting. So the fans weren't the only people suffering through that match. Number 3. Speaking of CM Punk, he didn't make his WrestleMania debut at the 2007 Money in the Bank ladder match. Oh, no. His first appearance was as an extra during John Cena's Chicago Mafia-inspired entrance at WrestleMania 22. Number 4. The Undertaker's undefeated WrestleMania streak was almost cut short a couple of times before he ran into Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30, but the most notable time that it was almost cut was when Vince McMahon wanted Edge to best the dead man at WrestleMania 24. However, Edge refused because he didn't think he needed that accolade. Number 5. During the Undertaker streak, he defeated every member of Evolution, that being Triple H, Ric Flair, Randy Orton, and Batista. Number 6. The Undertaker's streak wasn't intentional at first, but there's no reason they couldn't keep giving someone wins to build up a new one. In fact, Bianca Belair is the best candidate for this, as she's currently at a record of 4-0. Number 7. Or they could just bring back Rob Van Dam, who's also at 4-0. Number 8. And if there's an anti-Undertaker, it's gotta be Goldust. He of 12 WrestleMania appearances without a single victory, although in his defense, a lot of those losses were in Battle Royals. Number 9. The main event of WrestleMania 6 was a question mark for quite some time, as Hulk Hogan had been feuding with Mr. Perfect and Zeus, and neither of them felt like WrestleMania-worthy opponents. Obviously, it ended up being the Ultimate Warrior, but for a while, it was a very real possibility that it could have been World Heavyweight Boxing Champion Mike Tyson. Number 10. Mike Tyson was also in talks for a second WrestleMania bout, that being a boxing match at WrestleMania 17 against Triple H. Two sides couldn't agree on money, so the game would end up facing The Undertaker. Number 11. The Undertaker vs. Triple H match marked the first of 3 times that The Undertaker would defeat Triple H at the Showcase of the Immortals. Number 12. Not a single title changed hands at WrestleMania 27, which is a shocker because everyone thought Alberto Del Rio was being set up for a win after winning the biggest Royal Rumble of all time. Well, the biggest Royal Rumble up to that point. Number 13. Mick Foley was rumored to be added to The Rock vs. Steve Austin WrestleMania 15 main event to make it a triple threat match, but there was pushback from people who thought the Mania title match should always be one-on-one. Shawn Michaels was a big believer in this philosophy. The very next year, the title match would be a fatal four-way match, and 5 years later, the main event was a triple threat match between Triple H, Chris Benoit, and, you guessed it, Shawn Michaels. Number 14. The longest WrestleMania match of all time was the Iron Man bout between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels that went 1 hour, 1 minute, and 56 seconds at WrestleMania 12. Not to be confused with the Edge vs. Randy Orton match at WrestleMania 36, that only seemed to be that long. Number 15. Oh, and the shortest match in WrestleMania history is when The Rock beat Eric Rowan in 6 seconds at WrestleMania 32. Number 16. WrestleMania 19 is special because it's the only time both of the main event competitors competed under their real names, that being Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. Number 17. And who is the person with the most WrestleMania matches of all time? Probably not surprising, it's The Undertaker with 27. Number 18. Vince McMahon had one of the worst records in WrestleMania history, going 0-4 against his son, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, and Bret Hart. That is, until he picked up this train wreck of a win against Pat McAfee at WrestleMania 38. Number 19. A match between The Big Show and Shaquille O'Neal was in the works for years, but never happened. Closest we ever got was when Shaq showed up unannounced for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania 32. Number 20. WrestleMania 14 was the end of the road for the Winged Eagle WWE title. The next night on Raw, Steve Austin would exchange it for the Big Eagle belt that originally had a blue strap. Number 21. WrestleMania 14 was also the last appearance in the original run of the classic Intercontinental title. Next night on Raw, The Rock was holding the one that kind of looks like a cigar band, and I wasn't the only person who thought that. They made that exact same joke when Triple H appeared on the Drew Carey show. And weirdly, for a brief period of time, this belt had a purple strap. Number 22. WrestleMania 32 was the last event where the famous Divas Tramp Stamp title was used, as it was switched out for the red WWE Women's title after Charlotte Flair defeated Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch in a triple threat match. Number 23. Hulk Hogan has only been pinned twice at WrestleMania, once against the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6 and once against The Rock at WrestleMania 18. Ironically, both of those matches took place at what was formerly known as the Toronto Sky Dome. Number 24. Vince McMahon has a history of testing out some of the more spectacular WrestleMania entrances. Here's him doing Shawn Michaels' zipline from WrestleMania 12 and Lex Luger's showgirl-assisted pose down from WrestleMania 9. Actually, him wanting to be a part of that is very on brand for Mr. McMahon. Number 25. Bret Hart managed to sneak blood into 2 matches during the WWE's no blood policy era, with him wearing the Crimson Mask at WrestleMania 8 against Roddy Piper and him giving it to Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13. Number 26. Randy Savage would claim his first WWE title by winning the WrestleMania 4 tournament, but the original winner was supposed to be the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. This change came about when the Honky Tonk Man refused to drop the Intercontinental title to Savage earlier that year. Number 27. Speaking of that tournament, the bracket was set up to give the fans the hope that they'd see a rematch of WrestleMania 3's epic Randy Savage vs. Ricky Steamboat bout in the second round, but Steamboat dropped his opening match to Greg the Hammer Valentine. Number 28. WrestleMania 30 has one of the best endings of all time, with the crowd going absolutely bananas for Daniel Bryan's big win, but the original plan was for Batista to win the title from Randy Orton, while Bryan was in the undercard in a match against Sheamus. The booking was changed when CM Punk left the company, and the WWE creative team finally came to their senses. Number 29. The Hollywood Backlot Brawl between Goldust and Roddy Piper was originally supposed to be a Miami street fight between Goldust and Razor Ramon. However, Ramon's dislike for the Goldust character, his impending expiring contract, and a questionable drug test result have all been cited as reasons for the change. Number 30. Also, the Hollywood Backlot Brawl is the only match in WWE history to incorporate footage from the O.J. Simpson fiasco. Thankfully. Number 31. One of wrestling's most enduring urban legends is that Sid dropped a powerbomb in his tights during his WrestleMania 13 main event title defense against The Undertaker. Now, this has never been verified, although The Undertaker has said that Sid did do the deed during one of their matches. However, it doesn't sound likely that it happened at WrestleMania. Number 32. The main event for WrestleMania 7 was widely believed to be a rematch of Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior from WrestleMania 6, but the real plan was for Hulk Hogan's maritime buddy Tugboat to turn heel, become an Iraqi sympathizer, and face Hogan as, get this, Sheik Tugboat. That's the name they were going to go with. Instead, they pivoted to Sergeant Slaughter, and we never did get that WrestleMania 6 rematch in the WWE. Number 33. Roddy Piper famously or infamously painted himself half black for his match with Bad News Brown at WrestleMania 6. His intentions seemed to be good, saying that it didn't matter if someone was black or white because we're all the same. The match has since been erased from the Peacock version of that event. Number 34. And a fun little side note to that one, the solvent that was necessary to remove the black paint was apparently thrown out by Andre the Giant as a prank on Piper. Piper said it took him around a month to completely remove all of the black paint. Number 35. The WrestleMania 8 main event between Hulk Hogan and Sid is the first main event to not feature the reigning world champion. Number 36. The WrestleMania 8 main event between Hulk Hogan and Sid is the only main event in the show's history to end in disqualification. Wow, that sucks. Number 37. WrestleMania 4 holds the record for the show with the most matches on the card, that being 14. Problem is, none of those matches are particularly any good. Number 38. WrestleMania 10 originally featured a 10-man tag team match between the Head Shrinkers, Jeff Jarrett, Rick Martel, and IRS, squaring off against the Smoking Guns, Tatanka, Bob Holly, and the 1-2-3 Kid. The match was cut due to Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon going too long with their ladder match. Reportedly, Randy Savage gave Michaels quite the tongue lashing for going over his allotted time. Number 39. 19 years later, a match between Cody Rhodes, Damian Sandow, and the Bella Twins against Brodus Clay, A-Train, and the Funkadactyls was canceled due to the show going long at WrestleMania 29. However, Cody Rhodes has floated the theory that it was done so the reality show Total Divas could use it for a storyline. Number 40. Nowadays, we don't think twice about when a celebrity comes in and gets the best of an actual wrestler. Bad Bunny defeating Damian Priest is the perfect example of this. But when Bam Bam Bigelow lost to NFL Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor at WrestleMania 11, the old school WWE fanbase was furious. Number 41. It's always been assumed that Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart would square off in a WrestleMania 12 rematch for the title at WrestleMania 13, but apparently the decision was made before Shawn lost his smile that Undertaker and Sid would be the title match and that Shawn and Bret would square off in a ladder match at the event, with some reports saying the match would actually be for Shawn's hair. Wow, decades before that would become a reality. Number 42. The Vince McMahon versus Shane McMahon bout at WrestleMania 17 is one of the weirdest, most perfect cluster messes in WWE history, with the crowd going insane when Vince's wife Linda revealed that she was faking being in a vegetative state so she could kick her husband in the taters. But the bout was originally scheduled to be Vince squaring off against Mick Foley. Apparently, Mick turned it down because he was officially retired, which, in hindsight, is hilarious. Number 43. John Cena's WrestleMania debut happened during the WrestleMania 19 pre-show. Originally, he had challenged any celebrity rapper to rap battle him, and there was a time where it looked like none other than Jay-Z was going to answer the call. That fell through, and the rapper Fabulous, who I am unfamiliar with, was given the opportunity. He bailed as well, so Cena battle rapped their cardboard cutouts. Yikes. Well, at least he won. Number 44. What could have been the biggest match of all time was pitched for WrestleMania 18, with Steve Austin squaring off against Hulk Hogan. Hogan was up for it, having just returned to the company with the NWO, but Austin shot it down because he thought the match would be too much of a clash of styles. Hogan would go on to face The Rock, and the crowd was so hot, tell you what, a styles clash would not have mattered. Number 45. Daniel Bryan dropped the World Heavyweight title to Sheamus in 18 seconds at WrestleMania 28, and honestly, it was the best thing to ever happen to him. Instead of making Bryan look bad, the fans took it as the WWE creative team not taking one of their favorite talents seriously. This lit a fire under what would become the Yes Movement and would propel Bryan to the top of the card. Number 46. WrestleMania 21 didn't have any tag team matches at all. However, the reigning tag team champions Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero did face off in the opening match of the card. Number 47. Conversely, there was only one singles match at WrestleMania 2000, and it featured Terry Runnels against the Cat in a cat fight. So, I'm sure it was super good. Number 48. Of all the wrestlers who've competed in more than one WrestleMania main event, only one of them is undefeated in those matches, and that is Stone Cold Steve Austin with a record of 4 wins and 0 losses. Number 49. WrestleMania 10 and WrestleMania 40 both featured second-generation stars who lost a match earlier in the event, only to defeat a member of the Anoa'i family for the WWE title in a main event rematch of the title match from the previous year's WrestleMania. Ooh, spooky. Number 50. WrestleMania 2 is the only WrestleMania that happened in 3 locations, New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles, with a handful of matches happening in front of the live crowds, and then they had to watch the rest on the big screens. This was a disaster, and they never did it again. Number 51. Oh, speaking of that disaster, WrestleMania 2 was also the only WrestleMania to ever be held on a Monday night, which, screw that noise. Number 52. The longest single-day WrestleMania of all time was WrestleMania 35 that clocked in at an absolutely insane 7.5 hours. By the time Becky Lynch won the first ever all-female WrestleMania main event, the audience was beyond exhausted, and some of that audience had trouble getting home because it was too late to catch a train. Number 53. Pop star Cyndi Lauper is credited with helping to launch the rock and wrestling boom in the 80s, and many people believe the WWE wouldn't have gotten as many eyes on that first WrestleMania without her. Oddly enough, she is not in the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame. Number 54. The tag team Rhythm and Blues made an appearance at WrestleMania 6 to debut their new song, Hunka Hunka Honky Love. They made a grand entrance in the back of a pink Cadillac that was driven by none other than future WCW World Champion Diamond Dallas Page. Number 55. Molly Holly realized there'd be no women's title match at WrestleMania 20, so she pitched putting her hair on the line against Victoria's Women's Championship. Vince McMahon, always one to love a spectacle, went with the idea. Number 56. In fact, he loved spectacle so much that he put his own hair on the line against Donald Trump at WrestleMania 25 in a match between Bobby Lashley and Umaga. And this was the result. Number 57. Something that gets lost in the majesty of the WWE title tournament at WrestleMania 4 is the fact that both Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth changed outfits 4 times for each one of their matches. Number 58. Steve Austin both turned face and turned heel at WrestleMania. His submission match against Bret Hart ended with him becoming the most popular good guy in the company, and his title match at WrestleMania 17 ended up with him teaming with Vince McMahon. Number 59. Willie Nelson performed America the Beautiful to open WrestleMania 7. When the event was over, he partied with the newly crowned WWE Tag Team Champions, the Nasty Boys. Duo was having such a good time that they gifted the legend with their title belts. This proved to be a bad idea, as the Nasty Boys needed them for television the next day and had to beg the legend to give them back. My theory has always been that Willie Nelson was hoping to return the belts to the Hart Foundation. Number 60. Triple H's WrestleMania 30 entrance is notable because it is awesome, and also, the women underneath the mask went on to become big stars. The members of his Skull King harem were none other than NXT talent Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss. Number 61. Charlotte Flair would mimic this entrance at WrestleMania 34 for her bout against Asuka. However, the NXT talents that would play the Centurions, Tino Sabatelli, Riddick Moss, and Dan Matha, wouldn't quite go on to the same level of success as Triple H's group. Number 62. At WrestleMania 14 in a backstage interview, The Rock would say, "If you smell what The Rock is cooking," for the very first time on WWE TV. This was during a segment with Jennifer Flowers. Don't Google her, kids. Number 63. WrestleMania 35 had an astounding 7 title changes, which, maybe makes sense now that we know the show was 7.5 hours long. You had Tony Nese beating Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight title. Zack Ryder and Curt Hawkins beat the Revival for the Raw Tag Team belts. Seth Rollins beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. The Iconics claimed the women's tag titles in a 4-way match. Finn Balor beat Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental title. Kofi Kingston beat Daniel Bryan for the WWE title. Becky Lynch unified the Raw and SmackDown titles in the Triple Threat main event. Actually, maybe that's 8 titles, if Becky's wins count as 2. Number 64. Oh, here's a bit of a dark one. The Miz was knocked out during his WrestleMania 27 main event win over John Cena and has no memory of the finish of that match. Number 65. At WrestleMania 19, the handicap match between The Undertaker and The Big Show and Albert was originally a tag team match with Nathan Jones. But Jones was terrible in the ring, so they were like, screw it, let Taker do it himself. Number 66. 3 sets of real brothers have squared off at WrestleMania. You have Bret Hart and Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10, Matt and Jeff Hardy at WrestleMania 25, and Jimmy and Jey Uso at WrestleMania 40. Also, those names are listed in order of how good their matches were. Number 67. One of John Cena's best entrances took place at WrestleMania 25, where a sea of John Cenas made their way to the ring with him. One of the men portraying a faux Cena on that evening was a talent from Deep South Wrestling at the time, known as Kenny Omega. Number 68. The Divas Battle Royal at WrestleMania 25 was a disaster for quite a few reasons, mainly because it was won by Santino Marella's twin sister Santina, but also because a lot of the returning stars weren't even highlighted. Sunny and Molly Holly in particular made their first appearance in the company in years, but were hardly shown on TV. Apparently, Trish Stratus and Lita both knew something was up, as neither one of them accepted the invitation to participate. Number 69. At WrestleMania 33, The Undertaker dropped an ugly match to Roman Reigns, and when it was all over, he left parts of his gear in the ring as if he was retiring. He even broke character and hugged his wife, Michelle McCool, at ringside. Obviously, he stuck around a bit longer. Number 70. 3 wrestlers have lost career-ending matches at WrestleMania. Randy Savage at WrestleMania 7, Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24, and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 26. All 3 of them wrestled again after those bouts. Number 71. The state of Michigan was unable to watch WrestleMania 3 on pay-per-view as the WWE didn't want to do anything to hurt the attendance at the Pontiac Silverdome. Number 72. Seth Rollins' awesome Money in the Bank cash-in at WrestleMania 31 wasn't the original plan, as everything had been set in motion for Roman Reigns' victory over the dominant Brock Lesnar months in advance. We don't know when the decision was made for Rollins' sneaky steal, but many sources have said that Reigns and Rollins only learned of the switch an hour or so before the match. Number 73. Kurt Angle lost both the Intercontinental and European titles to different men at WrestleMania 2000. 24 years later, Finn Balor and Damian Priest would lose the Raw and SmackDown tag titles to different teams. Number 74. Ken Kennedy won the Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania 23 and vowed to cash it in the following year in the main event of WrestleMania 24. However, due to injuries and the need to get the belt off of The Undertaker that summer, he'd lose the briefcase to Edge, who would promptly cash in and win. Shocking, nobody has tried Kennedy's little stratagem since then. Number 75. WrestleMania has taken place in the outdoors quite a few times, but WrestleMania 37 is the only one that's had a rain delay. Number 76. The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin have squared off in dozens of singles matches over the years, but The Rock's only pinfall victory over the Texas Rattlesnake in a one-on-one bout happened at WrestleMania 19. Number 77. WrestleMania matches have ended by pinfall, submission, countout, disqualification, pillow smack. I don't know how do pillow fights end? Who knows? But only one match has ever gone to a time limit draw, that being the Jake Roberts versus Rick Rude bout in the WrestleMania 4 WWE title tournament. Woo! We did it! Go team! And if you're wondering which one of those 77 facts was the fake, it was number 67. There is no evidence that Kenny Omega was one of John Cena's doubles. In fact, the timeline doesn't even match up that he would be in Deep South Wrestling at that time. Did I leave out any other fun WrestleMania facts? If so, please leave them in the comments section below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a big leg on that notification bell. Till next time, I'm Singer Siete for 7 Wrestling saying bye-bye.